Peace, everybody. This is Ziggy, the Iron King, back at you with another video. And it's been a minute since I've updated you guys on anything that's been going on as far as what I've been doing health-wise. And so I wanted to update you guys and tell you what I've been going through physically and where I'm at on my journey of healing. I started experiencing back pain and shoulder pain off and on since November, like really bad, and really started to affect my walking and everything. And because I had got a new bed probably around August or September, and I didn't have a box spring in it, so the bed was kind of like uneven. So I didn't really start to experience issues with like my shoulder and my back interchangeably until probably November, till it got to the point to where I started back having to walk with a crutch for the first time in years. Well, I think it might have been, I think maybe a few years ago, I was walking with a cane. I was having, I think, issues with my leg, one of my legs, maybe like 2 years ago. I don't know if that may have something to do with what I've been experiencing lately, but it got to the point to where I had to start walking with a cane. And so I've been doing things, icing myself down and things like that. When I started going to a chiropractor, it was really expensive. It was like a celebrity chiropractor. He did a pretty good job, but I'm still experiencing back pain. And it was quite expensive because it wasn't covered by my insurance. So I've been looking into like reflexology and things like that. Not reflexology, but what do you call it? Raindrop therapy, thinking that would help. And I found someone in my area. She told me, I told her about me going to the chiropractor. She told me doing the raindrop therapy, I should continue to still go to a chiropractor. She told me where to find a chiropractor that's covered by my insurance. So it took me a few months. I ended up finding one about almost 2 months ago now. So I've been going to this chiropractor. It's a really nice place, and he does adjustments. It's covered by my insurance, and they do like deep tissue massages. They have like deep tissue massage therapy. And I was talking to the guy, the chiropractor, and he was telling me, I told him I was interested in doing like raindrop therapy, and if he knew anything about that. And he introduced me to a lady that's like a lymphatic drainage massage therapist. So I started going to her. I started getting sessions with her at the place as well about 3 weeks ago. So, which inspired me to like start back doing videos so that I can be able to document my progress, over time. So, like I said, I've been doing the chiropractic thing. It helped improve my pain at the time, but it wasn't like long lasting. With the first chiropractor, the second chiropractor, I've started to notice more improvement along, doing the massage therapy and now the lymphatic drainage. So it's been 3 weeks with the lymphatic drainage lady, and first week I was experiencing, well, actually days before I started seeing her, I got to the point to where, because right now I work from home, I was having like back pain, really bad lower back pain, and I didn't know what it was. I work from home, and I do call center work, and like we have to switch over. Like if we leave our desk, we have to switch over to a different mode so they know we're away from our desk or whatever. And a lot of times in between calls, you can have up to like maybe a 7 minutes in between calls, to do like the data entry part, the CRM part, and look over, read stuff before you go on, and take the next call. So a lot of times, this time I decided, okay, let me go downstairs, and I need someone that would ring the doorbell. So I went downstairs and opened the door or something, and then my back started straining, and I couldn't. It took me like 20 minutes to get up the stairs, and ended up having to let my job know, like, I'm hurt, and I took that whole day off. And a couple of more days, I think I'd already started seeing the chiropractor maybe like 2 or 3 weeks at that point. So I already had an appointment scheduled. And it just so happened, a couple of days before that happened, when that happened, I'd already had my first appointment with the massage therapist. And, usually my chiropractic adjustments and my deep tissue massage usually are like scheduled all at the same time, the same day. So, it was taking me like 30 minutes just to get my socks on. It was like maybe I think a couple days before that, my brother asked me if I wanted to go out, and I was like, yeah. And then, I got ready, and then I couldn't even put my socks on, and I told him forget it. So that week that happened, with, where I couldn't get up the steps, like for a whole week or two, it was taking me like 30 minutes, 20 minutes to even get my socks on. But that first lymphatic drainage session, she can tell, the spasm in that part of my back. And I think that's probably like the muscle or the part of the body where like it affected me lifting up my leg. But that was my first lymphatic drainage session, and she did a lot of work, and it was very draining. She told me, she said, that, drink a lot of water because it's really draining. She did a lot of things, and it was. And I'd already started doing other things, like I'm taking this thing called face drops. There's like hops, concentrated hops extract, and that kind of like very dehydrating as well. You gotta drink a lot of fluids with that. So between that and the lymphatic drainage, but I believe the lymphatic drainage really, because like when I have those, like it's like I'm in recovery mode. I feel better, but like I'm working on really rehydrating myself. So the following week, about 2 weeks ago, she noticed it wasn't. It was no more spasming at that part. I already have like spasming because of my cerebral palsy. Hence, cerebral palsy, spastic diplegia, which is the name of my cerebral palsy. It was gone, and I noticed it wasn't taking as long for me to put on my socks. Easier for me to get around. It's still like, I'm having to walk with a cane, walk with a crutch, hold on to the wall, on every step. And this past week, after the session, finally got to the point to where I'm able to walk without holding on to anything. Still walking with a crutch, especially if I'm going out, but I'm able to move around every day. I feel like I'm moving around better. So that kind of inspired me to, start back recording and see where I'm at. Maybe 2 weeks from now and do another video. 3 weeks from now and do another video. Maybe a month from now. Because I'm not sure. Because it's quite costly. Because the lymphatic drainage part is not really covered by. It's not covered by my insurance, like the chiropractic adjustments and the deep tissue. I might cut back on both of those and just do all three once a week, or at least the lymphatic and the adjustment once a week. We'll see. Now that I know that the lymphatic drainage stuff is working and I'm actively getting better, my focus right now is to get to the point to where I'm able to walk without a crutch. My pain is gone. Like, my pain is just about, I'm probably at about 90%. So I'm able to, like, bend down if I have to. And, it doesn't take me, I can put on my shoes with I can put on my socks and shoes with no problem. Almost no problem. Like, I'm almost back. I'm not back to where I was, to my standards, but seeing that this works is kind of like got me into the mindset of, okay, let me focus on the things that can help assist in the lymphatic drainage. Because once I know that if I can make it easier for that system to work, then I can start to heal my body. My body can start to heal itself in other ways and actively improve my cerebral palsy overall. Like taking things like helichrysum and using that, and frankincense. Like, I started taking frankincense extract. I've taken it before, but I've been doing that consistently for about a week or so. I'm taking herbs like hydrangea root, Kalawala, oat straw. Those three are really good for the brain. Now I started taking wild lettuce just yesterday. I started with that and kudzu, which is good for the liver. Burdock root, which is good for the blood, and also good for the lymphatic system. Stuff that's herbs is actively good for the lymphatic system, like poke root, red root, and plantain, and some other herbs. So I started doing that. Those things that would help to assist in draining my lymphatic system. So this is my first video about in a few months, and I want to start back doing videos where I'm updating you on my progress and what I'm doing, because I'm even thinking about going back and doing a fruit fast, or at least getting on a high fruit diet and start back doing like dry fasting for a day or two, and to help filter my kidneys and get myself lymphatic system to drain so I can start healing, because I really do feel better, and I can actively do things that can help with my cerebral palsy. I'm looking into incline bed therapy and getting me a pillow for that, because that helps draining the lymph. I just ordered like a neck massager that's supposed to help with lymphatic system drainage. I'm getting back doing the echo skew exercises. So we'll see. So stay tuned for more videos from me that I updating my progress and keeping you guys updated and see how far I can go in this journey. I haven't intended on stopping this journey, but like, be honest with you, like, I haven't really experienced too much pain, like, outside of with my cerebral palsy, other than like surgeries and stuff like that. Other than the time where I fractured my knee. But, so like, dealing with this back pain is kind of like rare, because I don't really associate it to my cerebral palsy. In fact, that I've dealt with it so long, probably should have been scary to me, but it wasn't. I always feel like it's going to eventually go away. But 6 months is like a pretty long time to be dealing with some stuff like that. So I was dealing with shoulder pain, and then I started dealing with back pain. And it affected me to the point where I can barely walk, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm getting back to my normal self. So my goal right now is to get back to my normal self, and then going back to what I was doing, months before then, focusing on, improving the symptoms of my cerebral palsy. And even before all this happened, I've been learning from Dr. Lewis and people like that, where they talk about the drainage of the lymphatic system. And I think, like when I was doing the grapes, I wish that I could have been able to do like this stuff when I was on the grapes, because I was on a detox, and like I said, I got so 90 some days in, I felt like there's a lot of changes going in my body. So if I was doing that while I was in that detox mode, who knows what, the healing that will happen. And I think now I need to get back to at least a cleaner diet while I'm doing this, because it is expensive, especially if I'm doing it every week, but it's worth it because it's working. I'm not just doing it for a mental thing, like, hey, let me do this because it feels good to be doing it, but it's actually good. So I think what I need to do is, because I'm spending so much money on it, I think that I need to make sure that I'm doing what I can do on my end for this to work as best as it can. For it to work as best as it can by staying hydrated, eating clean, to where there's no blockages with this thing to work, because being on a high food diet, like being on a sweet, watery fruit diet, after a certain period of time, alone, drains your lymphatic system. Dry fasting for 36, 48, 72, and so on hours, especially on a consistent basis, also drains your lymphatic system. And then I'm learning other different ways that could help, like the different channels, like the stomach area and other areas that drain your lymphatic system. So if I can do what I need to do to help this process work better, then we'll see, where I'll be in the next month. So stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe to Ziggy Nine King on YouTube and Ziggy Nine King on Instagram, and Maximalistic Creations for my sea moss, patana oil, and my black seed oil. Stay tuned.